on.
Yeah, later.
I clicked live on accident, so it's already live.
We are?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm coming then.
I mean, I don't think anybody's here yet, but I did. I clicked live, and I was like, well, now it's good as time as any. Let me get a blanket.
Okay.
I meant to, like, push it back in its little holder, and then what happened was...
Sure you
Come
did,
on.
Mandy.
I know. I was like, Sean, you could have been like, what, bitch? Right? Sean. If I was like, Sean, and you're like, what, ho?
I'd be like, move, bitch.
No, that's...
Get out the way. Yeah.
Nobody thinks we're going to be here yet, so it's
Okay.
going to be... I'm pretty sure we're live.
Okay. Let me get rid of all this since I was watching the Dallas Mavericks on NBA TV that I ordered.
Hey, Whiplash. Hey, Levi. Yes, we're early because I didn't mean to click live. Here's the other thing, you guys. I always put on DKNY Nectar perfume when we go live. It's just a thing I do, and I need to go put it on.
Go do that.
Give me 20 seconds. It's a thing, right?
Oh, I like our little
Our covered thing?
No, I like our little, what you call it, thumbnail.
It's cute, right? Let me spray my perfume. Hold on.
So really right now, guys, I got my contacts in that I really can't read. So if I'm squinting and doing all this, that's why. Hey Karen, hey Whiplash, hey Levi Lays. For those of y'all that are coming in here 5 minutes early, it's because Mandi hit live when she was trying to set it all up. So here we are. So she's putting on some perfume.
Luckily,
So the first couple minutes is just me and Mr. Green Jeans.
I wasn't like, having, you were happy to be
Hello.
coming out anyway, so I wasn't like yelling your name.
Let It Go said hello.
Hi guys.
She's here now. We can start.
I'm gonna show my perfume. I love this perfume. There's a
She
funny
said I'm
story
gonna show
about
my-
it.
I'm gonna show my.
You want to hear? I'm gonna tell about my perfume.
Okay, here. Look, I'm gonna go get my full throttle so I can be on one in about
Okay.
15 minutes.
You can do that.
Do this.
So this is kind of a funny story about my perfume. Hey Karen, hey Let It Go, while he's getting that. So I had about, what, 5 or 6 perfumes when I went through my
Yeah,
divorce.
it's a good story. She
Like,
wanted to blame her ex.
I know. I'm giving you some tea about this that ends up. So, and this was one of them. Burberry. A few others. Flowers by Kenzo. There was a few. So when I was packing everything to go, I put one in my overnight bag, and then that one was Miracle, and then I put the rest. I remember I had put into a basket or something. So anyway, when we got to the apartment, I was unpacking. I was like, where is my perfume? There's a whole bunch of perfume. It's not here. I know I brought it. So I asked my ex, I was like, did you do something with my perfume? Because it totally would have been out of character, but I couldn't figure out where it went. And I was like, just tell me if you did something with it. Did you give it away? He was like, no, I promise. And I was like, whatever. So, I mean, Sean, how long did I look for it? Months and months and months.
And you get mad every single
and
time.
I would be like, I can't believe that. That's so whatever. And then, okay, so then one time I was at my dad's house. I was visiting. It was after we had already moved home. It was the September I went to get our stuff. And my dad goes, I think I have some makeup of yours. And he brings me this basket from his bathroom, and it's all my perfume. I had lived with my parents for about 2 weeks before Sean and I moved into the apartment. So it was all my perfume. So I was like, oh, but I didn't have to like make amends to the ex because
You already did.
I never accused him of it. Anyway, there you go. That's my story. It's kind of funny because if you knew my ex, you'd know he was like, I didn't do anything with it. So in the meantime, I had bought more perfume, different kinds, thank God. And now I have a pretty cool little collection. But they don't last forever.
Look what I tried to do with Sawyer Brown.
He don't like to be covered. It tickles his fur. So anyways, you guys, let me see. People are still going to start coming in because I did it early. I have a hair appointment on Tuesday. Look, right here. That's where the bungee cord got me. Y'all, karma is a thing.
It was karma.
Karma is a thing.
I say, you stop talking about people and how they fucked up their foreheads, but, you know, and then whappa.
It smells like pepperoni.
Cord. That did?
Yeah.
So what did you make me today?
Oh, I did wings. Oh, it happens.
It happens, Paula.
So anyways, hello to Rizzle. So anyways, I am going to go get it on Tuesday, and I think I'm going to go a little bit darker because it's fall, almost winter.
So the first, which is payday for the military and this and that, is Tuesday. The Friday was payday for the post office. Mandi, because she is such a good wife, was going to get her hair did on Friday. But since I said, will be more wiggle room if we wait till Tuesday the 1st, she did. She changed her appointment, and then the Army paid me on Friday, too.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know what all this is. And I was like, oh, what? And then he was like, oh, it all went through. Which is good, you guys. But then at the same time, you're like, okay, but then that adds another 4 days, like, to the end of where you wait for the next one.
I know.
But it's not going to, that's like old enlisted days. That's not really a thing with retired.
We were both enlisted, and we lived like, you don't make a whole lot of money when you're enlisted. So you get paid on the 1st, and then you get paid on the 15th. So you got to make, you know, it's only, but.
Let it go, put all the Halloween signs. I like it. Let me share this real quick. It may not let me share it because if I share it when it's just scheduled, yeah. It won't. Look, Sean has.
That was a brand new one. That was a brand new one that I almost had to make.
Yeah, but you don't. Right, but what I was saying, mine isn't on there. It's okay though. It's all good. I'm taking a Twitter sabbatical. Those of you, I didn't deactivate it or anything stupid. I just signed out for a bit. But my other one, the Mandi Curly one, I'm using, but nobody belongs to it, so it's kind of like that. Right?
It's her non-drama one.
It's my non-drama one. I like the picture, though, the Abby of it.
I do too, baby.
It's really cool. It was when we were going to get our marriage license. That was a cute video, too. When I was like, where are we going today?
You really had when you were showing the picture of our wedding certificate, you look effing gorgeous in that picture.
I remember.
And I had that look like I got the right one.
I remember when we did the video sitting on the bed and we're like, where are we going? I remember we both, like, we looked happy and healthy.
Right. Well, because we could.
You did too. You looked very healthy. I was like, guess where we're going? It was finally
and we
time.
Did.
Yeah, I was like, we can wait as long as you want, Sean. I was like, let's get it.
So what we need to start tonight with is how cozy our pets will get together when we don't even know they are. So last night was kind of, I was sleepy because I'd worked I didn't get much sleep Friday night.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Just ignore when I say hi while he talks. He knows I'm going to.
I know.
You're used to it, though, now, which is good.
I'm so abusive that, I might.
Well, that's why I said when I was like, Sean, we're already live. I was like, y'all would have been able to see. He's like, bitch, what the hell are you calling me?
Shut up.
Anyway, go ahead. Don't make me pinch you.
I only got about 3 hours of sleep on Friday, and then I got up at 3 a.m. and I worked yesterday. So I was tired. Mandi explained it. So she took care of the chickens last night. It gets dark earlier. It's like dark at like 6:30. So Mandi goes on out, and I took a flashlight and look in there, and then you make a head count of all the chickens, and then you shut the door, and then you go around and you shut the gate. So they're in. It keeps anything out. Here's the problem. And she did say to me when she came in, because she woke me up because we went live last night at 8:30, and she says, hey, the chickens seem just a bit restless. They were kind of walking around inside the chicken coop, and I said, they'll do that when you come out, because sometimes I go out there when they're half asleep and I pick them up and stuff, and they, because you can. And I thought maybe they thought Mandi was going to do that. So she said that they were restless and this and that, so she shuts the door. So this morning, I was very, very tired. So I slept till about 11.
You did, yeah.
Yeah. So she got up because she had to do some errands and things. And she said, well, I'll go do what Sean normally does in the morning, and I'll take their chickens their food. and I will, hey, Colleen, and open the gate and start their day so Sean can sleep in because she's a wonderful wife that way. And who was waiting inside the cage? Who'd been locked in all night with the chickens?
Ellie.
Eleanor.
So I get
The
out
cat.
there, and I'd been calling her last night. I said, well, I guess she hunkered down somewhere for the night. So I go out there and I'm taking the food. And the chickens, I mean, they're normally out a little earlier, so they were all clucking, whatever. And then I'm like, hey guys, and then Eleanor is in the middle of the little yard going meow, and just looking at me. And then she didn't even want to come
spent the
inside.
night with the chickens.
She didn't even want to come inside. Like I had to she enjoyed it, I think. But I think it kind of freaked him out, and I think some of them didn't sleep very well because the black one was. And then today when we cleaned out the coop, what was there?
So we were trying to figure out, well, why would Ellie go in? Because Ellie had to go in the cage and in the little chicken door. So I went out and got some wheat straw and got a bunch of stuff. I get wheat straw. I get pine shavings. That's the first layer that I put. And even under that I have, it's called coop poop or coop
it's
something.
by that flock party, Karen.
Yeah, so it goes. It's the first. It looks almost like Arm and Hammer, but it's grainy, and you put a very fine, very fine layer there. Then you put the pine shavings, then you put the wheat straw on. So I opened up the little drawer where I keep the tools. There was 2 mice in there.
They found their way into it and made a little nest.
2 mice. They're big.
So you have this image of the mice chasing
Black Dragonfly.
the chickens chasing the mice and Ellie chasing the mice.
It made
so we
me
cleaned it out.
Understand why Ellie would crawl up into the chicken coop because she was trying to get where those mice were.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was an event. This is my Seahawks shirt. They won.
The Seahawks and the Falcons both won, and I think it might be the first weekend they both won.
Yeah, it was a good day. And if you watched it, it was kind of crazy how they won because the Falcons shouldn't have won. But
and you got, I mean,
okay, Mandy, Megan's gonna have an anatomy test.
Okay, so text us your list of words, Megan. Text it to us or email it to us, and then we'll quiz you.
We'll quiz you and see if you know.
Can we do that?
Anatomy, I bet, is fun. Yeah, so it was a fun day. It was fun. The Falcons, I mean, he was like, they lost. They're done. Without getting into all the details.
No, they were winning.
No, but I mean, when they got the touchdown, the other team.
Yeah, there was 19 seconds left, and the other team had no timeouts. It was the Panthers.
Yeah.
And the dude just chucked it up, and the dude caught it, like right at the end. It was unbelievable. Like when you're a defense, how do you let the guys get behind you? All you had to do is play back there.
Yeah.
So what happened, the guy scored the touchdown, and when he scored the touchdown, he ripped his helmet off. So that was a 15-yard penalty because he ripped his helmet off when he was on the field. You're not supposed to do that. The score was tied. All the Panthers had to do was kick the extra point, and they would have won the game. But since the penalty pushed the ball back where it was a 48-yard extra point, the guy missed it.
Yeah.
And they went into overtime, and the Falcons won in overtime.
It was a interesting.
I was fairly disgusted, though, wasn't I?
You were like, they can't even.
Every week with these guys.
You were like, and you're like, the people on Facebook or wherever it was, you're like, they're right. They were.
Yeah. All the people that troll Falcons fans on Facebook are absolutely correct. We suck. And so anyway.
Did anybody pop into Savage's Halloween costume party yesterday on she was having her annual costume party. I don't know who all the players are in the Betty Bullhorn community. I know they were spot on though, all of them. There was 4 people. And I was wondering, y'all tell me who they were supposed to be because it was hilarious. And the one that was Bullhorn Betty was spot on. I just don't know who everybody was. But she always has the costume thing every year without fail. She has the costume party.
I mean, Savage and Pirate and Shannon are a little bit like us. You know, they can do their streams and they can talk about whatever they're wanting to talk about. And if people on the background and like either offline or whatever, they're tweeting or doing drama about them and talking about them, they've been around long enough where They just don't even acknowledge it. And they just keep it moving. And that's what you got to do.
No, but MFW and Doug were getting on in the hot. Okay, so
Were they?
at 3 o'clock this morning, I heard there
Hey,
was.
Brad Michelle.
I heard something went on. I saw him sitting there with like his shirt off, and she was talking about Doug being in a biker gang and all of that.
He was talking about
Steve being in
Steve being in a biker
and
gang.
then later on, when we were going to bed, I go, she's live again. And I popped on and looked, and it said, we're going to go do it in the hot tub. So did they really get it? So they're back together then, right? And again, Sean's, you're busy with school, but Michelle, Sean's thing is, if she's that drunk, why are you sleeping with her?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like.
I mean, they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Let It Go was saying it. She was so drunk, you know. And the thing is like Doug seems like a nice dude.
She was taking his hand and shoving it in. Yeah, and you know
She was taking his hand.
Yeah, and
so he didn't even want to do that. So maybe he is a nice dude.
He goes to watch her to make sure she doesn't do anything like drive or anything like that. And she's messed with his mind for quite a while. Years.
Whiplash says, I don't think they've ever really been apart. I think you're right, but you know, I kind of have an affinity to Doug because Doug kind of came in and he tried his best with her. Were they ever like, this is my boyfriend?
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is my, I remember it was years ago now, right? Like 3 years ago or something, right?
She moved in 10 years ago, but they've been apart now for a couple years. But she moved in 10 years ago. Yeah. He was enjoying it. Okay. He has a thing for the inebriated type. Anyways, I'm the opposite. Dougie Fresh, yes.
Dougie Fresh.
I know that when he's at work, that you know, her moms have to call him and be like, "Can you do something?" And he's like, "I can't. I'm at work."
What does he do for a living?
He used to be a police officer. Do y'all know? I think he's in love with her too. Very much in love with her.
I do too, and that's kind of the thing that.
Do you think? What did what does he do now? Because she said, remember when you were when you were a real police officer? I don't know what he does now. But I was under the impression that he is like a security guard, maybe? Airport security. Okay.
Oh.
At least that's a federal job.
Though.
Yeah.
I mean, airport security is one of those, federally contracted jobs with a union.
I saw her. I happened to be, oh my God, Let It Go. He was working her crotch pretty good.
Was he?
Let It Go she's on it. I did notice, and I asked Sean what it meant, because she didn't admit, I happened to be watching it. And she was talking about
the airport. There it is.
She said ATX in that group or whatever, and she was like something about they get beat or something. I didn't know.
They said she said she mentioned you. She mentioned a couple other people, and they said they got their thing going on and they do it good or something like that.
I didn't understand what she was saying.
It wasn't a bad thing.
No, it wasn't a bad thing, but neither one of us really understood what she was talking about.
Yeah.
Come here. Little Sawyer Brown. His Zyrtec is working. He hasn't been scratching for the last like.
Come here, Sawyer Brown. He's looking at us like you guys are.
He's like, no. He's so cute, y'all. I wish you could see him.
When we were out there cleaning the chicken coop today, it was drizzly and raining the whole time, and the chickens were trying to get in the coop. They were like, "Look, dude, I don't care if it's dirty." So as I'm getting it ready, these chickens were kind of standing out in the rain, looking at me like, "Can we go in there now?"
She has an OnlyFans. She's got to be trolling.
Who? Katie?
MFW has an OnlyFans.
She doesn't.
Now, also,
it's kind of like us. I mean, we are OnlyFans.
So what's going on with Chantel? You know, we don't watch her a lot. She's going to Kuwait in a few days. How does that even happen? She said she's going to Kuwait and that she's going to buy some eggs from an egg bank.
Is that Miss Dorky? Am I reading that right?
I think so, yeah.
Or Miss Dorky or Miss Dorky?
It's Dorky. You just can't see it.
Can't see. I'm old. I can't hear.
He can see. I'll pass on the slice bowl. So, but I mean, like, so she's going to Kuwait with her Canadian passport. She said she doesn't want to take her burqa off when she goes through security, and people were saying you have to take you have to take it off while they look at your passport. She goes, maybe I'll just take it off very quickly and then put it back on.
Do Muslims have to take theirs off when they go through?
Yeah, everybody. You have to be uncovered on your picture.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Like, you have to, but the way that they do it is like supposedly, because the whole purpose of it is if there's just women in a house, you can have it off. Because when I volunteered for hospice, these people were from Morocco, and she was it Morocco? Yeah. And she was Muslim, and she kind of like told me about it. Like if a guy came to drop off medical supplies, she'd cover up. But when I was there, she didn't have to cover up. It was like that.
So if you're around family and close
girls,
associates
mainly,
or whatever.
Yeah. And the thing is she married her uncle, her uncle. So that's why her son was on hospice. He was profoundly.
And that's the other reason.
Yeah.
I mean, when people talk about, kissing your cousins and stuff like that, sometimes people don't like that. But
my cousin's hot. I'm telling you.
But you can't reproduce with
no.
It's because it's not, and they should do it a lot in the olden days. But the children, because your chromosomes are so alike, your DNA, that's why.
It was. It was, and she knew. I mean, like she knew. They had another daughter who was actually was normal, but like. Yeah, it was weird. It was this old hotel that you could tell back in the day.
What's this? Cretans?
Yeah, something. Yeah. And so, but you remember when you were saying they've turned old, magnificent hotels into into subsidized housing or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this was so weird because they were in this high-rise hotel with fancy elevator, a fancy, lobby, but like no one was really there, and brass stair rails and everything, and you go up to their thing, and it wasn't dilapidated. It used to be a fancy hotel. You see what I'm saying?
Like if you see the movie The Budapest Hotel.
It reminded me of like The Shining is what it reminded me of. They even had like a little thing in the elevator where used to this elevator person, there was like a little brass stool.
Spot for them to sit.
It's crazy. Anyway.
One of we were talking the other day about my first roommate in the Army. This back in the early 90s when, you didn't have the World Wide Web and you didn't have Google and you couldn't, find out anything you wanted to on the internet. My friend grew up in the projects in the Bronx. Throg's Neck Bridge, if you guys know that area. I think 95 goes right through it. He grew up in those projects. And he was fascinated with me and I was fascinated with him because it was a Puerto Rican, New Yorican that grew up in the Bronx and, an upper middle class white dude that grew up in the suburbs. They put us together as roommates and he used to tell me about those projects, and they were similar to these hotels. They had like a lobby in the bottom. And so they'd have like bulletin boards that would talk about job opportunities and college grants and all kinds of stuff. And it was sort of like where people would hang out if it was raining while they waited for, either their taxi or whatever.
Like a magnificent lobby.
Yeah.
It was
this was the projects. And so it would be like 30 stories. And on each story, there'd be like 10 little, one or sometimes the really nice ones had 2 bedrooms. And there was just a gang of people that lived in each one. And then they'd have about 12 of them down all along. And he said his father, who he didn't know very well, lived in one of the same apartments in the building that he lived in. He lived there with his brother and his mom, and then he had like half brothers and sisters in 2 different apartments, all in the same building.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Christine, I've heard of her. I don't really know anything about her. She's just saying that this person, Durizzle's posting nasty things. I've heard of her. I don't know exactly what she's about, but she used to draw or something like that.
Yes. We know she gets mean. That's what she does. She has a cycle. You just got to ignore her.
I started following you. Oh, when I was part of the boardroom, Miss Dorky's been watching us for years, but doesn't say anything. She started following me when I was in a part of the boardroom. So you followed the whole procession of things that happened and how we ended up together. Were you shocked when we popped up together? I always ask people that. I'm just curious. Were you shocked when we came out as being together? Because people knew who we were.
Here. I like Presley. Presley had been around
just a
ever
little bit,
since I was in my last relationship, and for years Presley would be, and then she ended up being a really good friend of ours. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, we are.
I think it's cool that you're here. Thank you.
Yes and no. I was happy you two. Yes and no. I was happy that you two were together. Cool. I always like to hear that. There's some people that are like, we thought you were going to be an even bigger shit show. And then there's some people that like, you are an even bigger shit show. But I'm not sticking anything in his face. Like, he likes, it's cool because he gets excited about going live with me.
I do. Which
is cool. I get excited about going live too. But that's such a big, like, a 180. When people say that's a 360 degrees from the way they used to be, and I'm like,
that means you'd spin around and keep going.
That is a pet peeve of mine. When people say that, I'm like, no, it's a 180.
A 180, and yeah.
And I'm no like math freak, but I do get half sweet, half unsweet tea. You know, these high school kids, they have a hard time making change at McDonald's, let alone anything else. I'm gonna say, can I get a third sweet tea and two-thirds?
2/3, yeah.
2/3 unsweet and 1/3 sweet, and they'll be like,
it blows their mind.
They'll go, what is that even? Just splash them.
On one hand, we're happy that they're working and because of the way fast food is.
One yesterday, I had to tell him what changed. He had put in the wrong thing into the thing, and he was reliant on do you know that the McDonald's register, that screen even tells them
okay, Miss Dorky, she's got to go back to work.
Okay,
thank you for coming in.
Thank you. How many nickels, dimes, and everything? Like, it now tells you what change you owe.
That's good, though.
But if you put it in wrong, there goes Karen.
There you go,
Get it, Karen.
There it is.
Anyway.
She used to be with a group of other people, and she embarrassed herself in them. And so that's the short end of it.
And every once in a while, when she gets a couple people that think like she does, she will...
She's a very mean-spirited person that...
That's a good way to describe her. Very mean.
She rarely has a stream unless she's making fun of somebody in a really nasty way. And most people understand that.
She also, likes to fat shame, but she doesn't go on camera herself. And I'm not saying anything about her looks, but she won't put herself on camera. But she said that I was fat at our wedding and stuff like that.
She's a big girl.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, never been shy about my weight or whatever. But anyways.
She always seems like she's alone all the time. Very lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard her sister play the guitar though?
I have.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful girl.
Yep.
Yeah. And she has a really good, pleasant disposition, whereas her sister doesn't, but she has a real pleasant, I don't know. I miss her being on there, but I don't watch. I didn't even know that this girl was still around. We were going to talk about the chickens, about how they were like, why are you doing this in the rain?
I know.
They're they're lined up to bed.
And at first you're like,
there you go, Colleen says she's a lonely European witch. Go ahead.
That's it.
That would be...
You pinned that one.
They were milling around outside going... Mm-hmm.
So then, as I'm putting the hay in, they just jump in. And I'm putting the hay out, and then I'm covering them. And they're they'd come out from under the hay. They were just missing.
We had to do it, though. It's been it's been a month, and we normally do it just about every week, 2 at the most.
It was about 2.5 weeks.
But he does it deep enough where he can take the top layer off.
So what I do is I put enough wheat straw in there so that every morning I take a little layer off, and I throw it in the little compost to keep it as clean as I can.
That's cool.
So.
Used to, if I was you could be able to put poles in the chat. Have you seen people do that?
Put poles in
the chat or whatever, but I don't see the option on here to do it. I was gonna take a poll. I wasn't really late because
the thing I'll say about anybody that comments on us or does anything that's negative, I always try to tell Mandi that any attention you get is actually good attention. If you don't pay attention to what they're saying, you can bet that they're going to bring people from over there to watch us.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, here more than where I used to be. I used to say the same thing to her, but here more than anything, people tend to like it once they get here.
Yeah.
And then they stay here and says, I used to watch this other stuff and now I'm here. And that's
because we're really not that bad.
No.
Contrary to our reputation, we're not quite that bad. Yeah, it is good garden compost. We put it we've got trees behind our house. We put the hay, the old straw on the thing, the incline. What is that what you call it? The ravine incline. And there's a
steep drop off that goes down into the woods.
And they go hang out in it. Mm-hmm. After a couple rains, the chicken waste that was in it goes away anyway. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I will say about chicken poop is when I go to hose out. Hey, Presley. Watching
Presley.
the celebration of the life of Loretta Lynn. Oh, very cool. We should have. There's a hair sticking. Very cool though, Presley. Do you see it?
Mm-mm.
It's like maybe it's gone.
Presley, I saw you on Facebook. I'm glad the Hubs is continuing to do better. I looked at it and anyway, think about you guys a lot.
That was an amazing, pleasant surprise yesterday when you said that he had gone home, because I know you weren't positive whether he was going to be able to go home yesterday, and in fact, you weren't thinking he would be able to at all. So that's awesome that he got to go home.
Piece of chicken, right? I'm sitting there doing this.
I made homemade chicken wings, and I know you're like, what do you mean homemade? I mean, I cut them apart, dropped them in. You should have seen us fry.
Okay,
we
guys.
fry them with their skin, and then we toss them in sauce.
And Karen, here, Mandi was, separating the wings from and she was trying to slice it.
That's why our knives are dull.
And I kept telling her, you got to chop. You got to chop,
Thank you.
And then I showed her how to chop. And I know Karen probably.
I need to get one. I need to get a chopper, because that one actually did work when I did
It's like a meat cleaver, that is called.
No, a cleaver's when the hammer one.
No, that's a pulverizer.
How do you know what that is?
What?
How do you know what kitchen tools are?
Because you had all of that stuff in your old house.
Oh, no, I didn't have a cleaver. Did I have a cleaver?
I don't know. You had a pulverizer,
anyway,
though.
I know, we don't have it. I'm going to get one. Because even with the knife that wasn't super, super sharp, we were able to do it. And then it comes out looking more of a clean cut than me trying to pull it and cut it and whatever. So anyways, then we had to put it in the grease. And I put the grease in a frying pan, but what I forgot is I usually do it kind of in a stock pot, so when it splashes, it doesn't go everywhere. I love her song. Yeah, Loretta Lynn was amazing. So it, is splashing or whatever, and I'm like, hold on, just stand back, and I'm like dropping it in. He was like, well, let's just put the rest in. And Sean, you kind of he almost tossed it.
Let's throw them in there.
And I was like, not like that.
Chop it. That's it.
But it was good.
Chop it at the joint. Right, Colleen. That's what I do.
love...
Chop it right on the joint. What it is when I chop it at the joint, I sometimes miss, because the little leg bone will stick out, and I chop too hard on the leg bone. That's my only problem. I'm not good at chopping.
Do you know?
But wasn't Loretta Lynn the coal miner's daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, this is funny because Sean loves his wings. You know that. He said, so it's like baby chickens. Chicken wings are just baby chickens. And I was like,
I thought
no.
the little chicken wings were for
I had to
smaller
think about it,
chickens.
and I was like, no, I don't think so. And then today when I opened it, I showed him. I was like, see, this has feathers on it and would be the wing. So this is where the wing would go like this. And he's like, oh.
I really thought
I was like,
because you have drumsticks and
but
they're
you made
bigger.
me think about it.
But it's bigger
That's
than little
these
drums.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the wings are like the thigh one, not the thigh ones, but
But it certainly didn't stop him from eating the chicken wings.
I'll eat the chicken. I
He
don't
goes,
care what part it is.
I was like, but you made me think. I was like, no.
But do you know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Like when you see drumsticks and then you see the chicken little legs,
I hadn't finished my hair.
they
when
look
we went
like
live.
just smaller versions of one another.
Yeah, no, I know. But it was, anyway, he's cute.
Yeah.
I was like, no, they're not. Then it would be even more expensive.
They both taste like chicken.
I didn't finish my hair before we went live. But that's okay. Who cares, right?
Arms, let it go, says arms, right.
And that's the kind of thing I need to be better about, having like our vlogging camera set up. So when we're doing stuff like that, it just captures those moments.
Or
because that's what makes vlogs.
Or when you walk outside and your cat is in the chicken the chicken coop.
I should have immediately run and got the camera.
Yeah, he was like.
But then she wouldn't have just been sitting there looking like, my chickens are here.
I know. We spent the night together. You guys didn't turn the heater on, so I was cold.
And the poor, I guess she seemed chilled out enough, like I said. But I always
wasn't very cold last
I'll
night.
always go last call, and then I'll go, do whatever, and then I come, and if she doesn't make last call, then we go to bed. But sometimes she's asleep somewhere in the house if she doesn't come. So anyway, but
she has to come in, and she has to avoid Scout.
Yeah. So
she comes in, she looks around, because Scout will torment her, and so she'll find a little place to hide, a little hole, and then nobody will know where she is, which is good.
And he goes to his own room. So if I can get him settled in his own room, then she likes to use the fuzzy blanket. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's always a whole thing.
Does anybody in the chat go to see movies anymore? I mean, there's one that I saw the preview for called The Menu.
It's called The Menu?
It's called The Menu. That's the name of the movie. And it looks like it's kind of like a horror movie.
Okay.
And I just, like Ralph Fiennes is in it, I think. Anyway, I'm starting to see more and more.
Yeah, I don't think many people go anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like what's his name? The Rock is doing.
I bet you ate that cat food. Go ahead.
Black Adam. You're seeing more and more previews for movies again. Hadn't seen them for a while, but now I've seen them. But
they're trying to save the movie theater. Tam Tam goes all the time.
Yeah, maybe that's why no one else goes. I don't know.
So I was at Tractor Supply today on a different note. Karen, they have like no cool hats in. They haven't gotten anything worth anything in forever. But I keep looking up. I have a movie pass, but everyone. Oh, a free movie on your birthday month. That's cool.
That's cool.
But they have their like Christmas gift section in. And Sean was like, this is totally a Mandi section.
It is.
They're selling like old style meat, like grain scales or flour scales. Just a whole lot of vintage stuff. Mm-hmm. The little napkin
like
holders.
It's like farm Americana
stuff. The old style silver napkin holders that used to be at the burgers places or whatever. Yep.
What I kind of liked, it was an old style calendar where you flip, and it's like chalk calendar where you flip the month and then you flip the day, and you can move the days to the days of the week. So it's like a 31 day calendar. And so if you only have 30, you don't use the one day. Then you can move the days over, and then you flip the month and this and that.
How much was it?
It's like $40.
It was. Yeah. And they have I did notice it's in inventory. Yeah, and they have a gigantic like, you know, my little rooster thing it's not wrought iron, it's tin, I think.
I'll go get it.
Well,
there's a huge one that's like...
huge one with the Santa hat on.
It's almost 6 feet tall.
How much is it? Like $400 or something? But we're going to put an outdoor Christmas tree right by the chicken coop. And, like right in front of where I planted the flowers and stuff. This is from Hobby Lobby.
But it was one of these, but it's like
real big,
almost as tall as me, and it's got a Santa hat on it. And they actually have directions because you have to put it together and take it apart because it's huge.
Yeah, this one can go outdoors. I'm not gonna put it outdoors because it's.
But so you see how this one, how the legs kind of go under it, and these looks like they're sort of welded. But the one at Tractor Supply, you'd like, this is huge.
Yeah, this is really cool.
It's a great big, and it's clearly it's seasonal. You wouldn't keep it out all year.
The Packers are not doing well.
Sorry
to be watching. No, it's okay.
That was just starting when we went live. The Bills and the Packers. What's up with Aaron Rodgers? Is this it for him? I mean, he was so good for so long. He's been one of my favorites. A lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers because of his attitude and things like that. I thought he was great. I like him, but not everybody's a fan of him.
Sawyer has a fake rawhide before you come for me. This is his little fake rawhide. He's been carrying it around for a pretty good while today.
It's yours?
Look at him.
What's going on, Sawyer Brown?
He's so cute, though. He'll let Sean, like, come and play with it. Like, if he's chewing on it, and Sean's like, Lily would have already bit me just for general purposes.
As soon as you act like you're going to take something.
And she would bite, right?
Oh, yeah. I think one of the old classic videos that was ever showed is when Negs reviewed Lily eating the pizza. Remember that?
Yeah.
Years ago. And
she was.
It was only about a 40-second
She didn't want to give it up.
No. I mean, there were times where, like, you know how you're sitting in the living room and you have your end table, but like underneath the end table is kind of dark, and like you just reach on the end table for whatever. Yeah. She'd be under there. I wouldn't even know it, and I just reach for something. She'd just tear me up.
No, so. You're not playing this game. He's doing his I'm gonna beg and then step away. Go Cowboys. How are the Cowboys doing?
Cowboys are what, 6-2 now?
Really?
Falcons are 4-4.
They're doing exceptionally well, and they pulled it off today. Number 2, what was number 2's name?
The guy for the Panthers, Moore was his last name.
The one that got
the one that pulled his helmet off and caused his team to miss the extra point.
Of course, they kept showing him every time things got worse and worse and worse for the team. And finally, at the end, when the Falcons won, they show him he's just kind of sitting on the bench like this, and he's like... I'm like,
he's like, it was such a great catch and a great touchdown. And for about 4 seconds, you were like, oh my God. And then he pulled his helmet off just like that and got a penalty. And it was like, wow. And the announcers even said,
does the coach say anything?
I'm sure he did.
Like, you're a freaking...
Well, he was also yelling at the kicker because the kicker missed the extra point and the field goal.
Why are the kickers always tiny?
And because most people are tiny compared to pro football players.
No, but I mean, do you know they were talking about a player on Georgia yesterday when I was listening to the radio? They said there's one of the players is 450 pounds.
God, really?
Yeah.
That's big. Has got to be an offensive lineman.
Yeah, they said and then they were like, he says 435, and the other guy was like, I would say closer to 450, but it's still, I mean, do they just have to like be like bulls?
They do.
They don't have to run a lot.
But Colleen, that Tennessee's got to play Georgia, right? We'll see then. Because
And the announcer said everybody's related in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't say
you
that.
Can't say that.
He was like, and that's good.
Tennessee is for real though.
He said the stands are going to be full because they're generations and generations of alumni and everybody's related there. And I was like, I don't think you can say that.
I don't think he meant it that way.
I don't either.
But we're going to see Tennessee with the orange and white.
I think he's Sawyer Brown.
Is it next week? It's next week Georgia plays Tennessee, I think.
What are you doing?
So that ought to be a good game.
He's all the way at the door.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think he has to go?
Oh, he can wait. He was out.
He's totally at the door, Sean.
Yeah. Do you want me to take him out?
Yeah.
Okay. Carry the string.
I will. He doesn't just straight up go to the door unless he needs to do whatever.
Let's go.
He runs from me. Well, he doesn't run from me. He just wanders and meanders. And for Sean, he doesn't. So I don't think they'll win against Georgia. I mean, I don't know. They whipped Kentucky last night. I think we watched some of that yesterday. Hey Kay, how are you? I know you said go Cowboy, but I didn't greet you by name. And I can say this because I'm from Texas. I always see the Cowboys fans as like fair weather fans. Like when they're doing really, really well, like Super Bowls and stuff like that, everybody goes out and buys, F-150s with the dark blue, and then they put the big star on the window and do all of that, or go, whatever, have a decal on their back window or whatever. But when they're not doing well, they don't keep their fandom up at all. It's like, that's what I've always noticed about them. And that's just being from Texas. But I could be wrong. But they go and they buy their leather, jackets with the Cowboys, and they start sucking, and you see them at thrift shops and stuff like that. Stares at me until I figure out what he wants. Right, Karen? That's why I know that sometimes Sean's like, he doesn't have to go as many times as you take him. And I'm like, but we know when they look at us a certain way what they're saying. And you have to, and it could be any number of things. You could have, the last time he went out, he didn't get a treat. Or the last time he went out, you didn't tell him good job, so he wants to repeat the process. You just never know what it is. But, yes, Kelly says, Panthers for life. Very cool. The born and raised Dallas. I like Dallas. The only thing I as far as towns in Texas, again, I can say it because I'm from there, I don't like Houston. I don't like the Houston Beaumont area. Stewie, you watching? H-Town is not my cup of tea. I kind of just drive through it. Got a Shih Tzu in Houston. But other than that, we just drive through it to get to the beach, right? That's all you can really say. There's Moxie in the pouring rain. Go you, walking Sasha in the pouring rain. Moxie's very cool. Thank you, Moxie, for stopping by. Yes, and do you know that originally the capital of Texas was going to be in Houston? And because it was so humid and the mosquitoes were so nasty and that nobody wanted to be there, they moved it to Austin.
And the highways were so bad.
I just said we just go through it to get to the beach, and got a Shih Tzu there.
I talk to people like,
hey, Misty Lee, how are you?
Every so often that are from Houston, and everybody's like, yeah, Houston's okay, but they all talk about the traffic.
The traffic's bad.
Yep.
when Sean was like, I'm going to speed limit. No, you got to go. I was like, you got to go
keep
at the
your
speed
foot
of
on the gas.
I said, Sean, I love you, but you got to go. In Houston, they will mow you over. You know what I mean?
Hey, did you know that not this Friday, but next Friday is Veterans Day?
I did know that.
You didn't?
No, we still have all of those little American flags and stuff. We need to go to.
But I always thought, maybe I'm wrong. I thought Veterans Day was mostly celebrated on a Monday.
No, it's November the 11th.
November the whatever day of the week. So this is a Friday.
And isn't November? Is it Armistice Day? What was it based on? I think it was like not Normandy. It was based on some event that happened in World War II. Did you notice that now that he has the bigger phone, I don't have to put the glasses on as much?
I need glasses now.
I mean, yeah, I was like looking, I go, why can I suddenly see better? And then I was like, oh, because it's bigger. Sean's hand-me-down is an iPhone 13.
Yeah. People complain sometimes. They're like, you get hand-me-downs? I said, yeah, but my hand-me-down is like one step down from the...
The biggest mistake with getting this one, because I haven't had it very long. I should have waited for them to mail. They said they never get the terabyte ones in the store. You have to order them.
She did.
But this one, I was like, no. I was like, no, that's fine. I'll just delete pictures. And Sean was like, are you sure? And I said, of course I'm sure. This one's fine. I want to take it today. And it wasn't. And I was having to delete many items of fuckery. And I was like, we'll wait for him to mail it to us. I'm going to be patient. I can't lose my whole collection. Armistice Day. There you go.
Armistice Day.
Jeopardy, here I come. Can you imagine?
Better than Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
But
I'd be sitting there going, they asked the question, I'd be like, I pushed the buzzer. I just pushed it to make sure it was working.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to anything. Every once in a while, I'll know something that nobody else knows. At your parent, when they watched Jeopardy when like his brother's over and.
So if we were on Family Feud, you'd sit at the end, and they eventually would get to you.
Yeah.
You'd come up with the game winner at the end.
It was right after theirs, and I can't remember which one it was. I went into chat, let it go, and saw you, and you were just leaving. My poor husband, I got an upgrade every few years, and he's the same phone for like.
Hey, Lisa, Warrior Queen.
He gets the hand-me-downs. That's like a lot of households. Like the husband who makes all the money gets the hand-me-down cars while the teenagers are driving not necessarily the teenagers, but the wife gets the new car and then she passes her car off to him. And he's like, but I make all the money. It doesn't matter.
That kind of happens in my mom and dad's
family.
My mom gets to go pick out.
But your dad's not into cars.
My dad would drive anything.
I've tried to get him before when we were talking about cars. I was like, you need a Beamer or a Mercedes. He was like, oh, hell no. All it's got to do is get you from one place to another.
I mean, my dad, when he was about my age, like 30 years ago, he always said that he wanted...
Yes, Kelly girl, I could beat my Family Feud. Go ahead.
He said he wanted to get a, what do you call it, a Jag, but he never did.
Yeah.
He never got a Jaguar. And he could get one if he wanted one.
My kids get the hand-me-down from... This is what used to happen in our household. So little boy was the youngest one. When there would be an upgrade, like on his line, my daughter was much more into the phone than he was, although she would get the upgrade and he would get hers. And finally, come about his junior year, he was like, I want my upgrade. He goes, I figured out that I never have an upgrade.
It's like, be quiet and go in the Army.
I know, because you can take someone's, like this last time we got it, they were like, you don't have an upgrade. And they were like, he does.
I had an upgrade.
And they said, did you want to transfer it? Of course.
And she was like, this is how this is going to work.
Hey, Christine, just ended my stream because my internet is trashed. I didn't know you, Christine. What am I, your stream? Let me go make sure.
Put the link in there, Christine.
I know. Let me look and see what I've been missing here. Okay. Let me subscribe. Wait a second.
We just subscribed. Throw that up there. Put it up there so people can see it.
Oh goodness, hold on.
You can do it, Mandi.
I'm very challenged.
Hit Christine.
I'm going to do it. Go to channel, share channel.
Oh.
Copy link.
This is how it's gonna be.
And it works.
Look.
Sean, you just lost like two auctions.
There it is. There's Christine's channel, everybody. Everyone go subscribe.
Hang on, I'll go try to figure out where I'm at. There's Danny. Hi, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
We, last night, were y'all here when we reviewed Rev being on the news?
Oh my God. Who was here last night?
Shanny hubby, not Nikki Rev, but that would be funny too.
Shanny and Rev?
Yeah. He looks like a little bitty Dave the Fisherman.
He did.
Like if Dave the Fisherman was a little bitty guy, which...
We have a bunch of characters. Maybe it is. We have a bunch of characters, you know, if you ever, you watch the drama, the DC or Boyd or Troll Avenue and all these people, they have these characters. And I always wonder what Dave the Fisherman was one of them. He was fairly hideous to listen to stream, but he was part of it.
Yeah. Colleen says, my Mike gets his F-150 4x4. I get the Lincoln. I'm good. Hell yeah. Lincoln. I'm telling you, like...
I think we're kind of like that.
If we had lottery money, I would either get a fully, completely loaded Suburban or really total, couldn't get any better.
Like refrigerator in it and stuff?
A Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah, she likes great big SUVs.
Yeah. Maybe an Escalade, but probably a Suburban. Brand new.
And I'd be more like a...
Not those new Mustangs.
Not the new ones. The new Mustangs I don't like. They look like...
Have y'all seen the new Mustangs?
Have you seen what the new Mustangs look like?
I'm going to pull it up now.
I would probably go with a vintage car like a 69 Mustang or something like that.
That one was broken down last night.
A 68 Camaro SS. But if I had like millionaire money, like a millionaire many times over, and I had to pick out one car, like one 6-figure car, it'd probably be a McLaren. That's probably what I would pick out.
See, I'm not sure what a McLaren is. I've heard you mention it, but I'm not sure what it is. What is it?
It's just like it's a nice car, like a Rolls Royce or something like that.
Okay. Like a Bentley kind of? Or
something
a Maserati?
like that. Yeah, but kind of sporty though. Sporty like a Ferrari or a Lambo or something like that.
That makes sense. Hold on. First of all, it's $48,000.
Have you guys seen the new? And if anyone's got a brand new Mustang in here, I'm sorry. It was parked right next to us at Home Depot today when we went in. And I looked at it and I was trying to fit because it said GT.
But wait a minute.
It looks like an SUV. It looks like it's like a
there might be two types.
Like a Bronco it almost looked like.
Okay, Sean, look. They do still have their traditional style. That's the electric.
Oh, the electric Mustangs. That's it.
So here we go. I'm going to show you. Let me put that somewhere else. Make this one bigger.
Where are they on the back seat? Ooh.
So
we like back
this.
Seats.
Do y'all see that? So the one on the right, my right of the phone, probably your left, is the electric one. And the other one, I guess they did keep the traditional style. Crisis averted.
I just want to chauffeur, Kelly says. Yeah?
Yeah. Don't worry. Look, it changed our color.
It did it when we went like that?
Yeah, well, because it reflected that light off of it. It'll go back.
Oh.
Here you go. Now you have the picture in picture. But anyways... that's good to know. I was watching my
basketball game.
I've heard Subaru people are super loyal once they start driving Subarus. But this electric Mustang, to open the door, it doesn't have a handle or anything. You touch this little thing.
It's like a little button.
While you take it, your thumb's touching one thing, and then it just opens the door like that. Oh. But they've gone and soiled the name of the Mustang.
I just don't. I think some Teslas look good. I guess I'm just so American. I just want a gasoline engine car.
I did like your Mustang.
Y'all remember the Mustang? The silver Mustang that I had? I vlogged from it all the time.
Would you consider 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms, the Mustang?
It was a 3-bedroom if you put the seats back. I mean, I had to live there for off and on for a few months.
So I guess a 4-bedroom vehicle dwelling would be like the 300 would be considered a 4-bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I could stretch fully out in the 300 with you.
I bet your back hurts so freaking bad.
I wasn't thinking about my back when I was in there. I was in the back of the 300 on my first date with Mrs. ATX.
When you told me when I was
doing terrible things.
When I said what is so you're like the people from Subway bring me meatballs. I know. I was like, oh.
So
I remember that to this day.
Where I worked at the convenience store, it was in the convenience store was
I see
a Subway. So I'd be working this third shift, and then I would go to my car.
Nelson.
I would go on post, take a shower and shave, but then I would be in my car. So even when I was off work, I mean, I would get in my car and drive off just so I wouldn't stay there.
Yes,
you know, like I would go to my car, but you know, they would like bring me the hot meatball subs, the meatballs from Subway.
Isn't that
It was
cool?
like
They take
I was
care of you.
I left, but it was almost like they thought I was starving to death. I had money. I was just, I mean, there's not a whole lot of homeless people.
At the
I mean,
beach?
you can't really just drive up to the homeless area and say, well, where do I park my Mustang?
A royal blue
You know?
Gremlin. Yes, but
You
you
can't do
said
that.
if it had been warmer, you'd have slept on the beach, right?
Yeah, because it wasn't quite, I mean, it was fairly warm.
Rhonda says she wants a real door handle and a gas tank. There you
Telling
go.
you. Thank you. I mean, I guess the next generation, you know, if we're saying, you know, the babies that are born today, this year, in 15 years, when they're going to get their license in 16 years, they'll probably be, what, 50-50? Or
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
more of electric cars in
They remember your Mustang. I remember when he first got it, because before that you had a Maxima, right?
yeah, yeah.
And I remember the Maxima, him driving in it. And then one day he was vlogging and he said, this is a Ford or something. And then I was like, everybody kind of figured out it was a Mustang, but he didn't announce it. Like, I've got a new car.
Yeah, and who was that? Juan Smith was always getting on to me about my Mustang. That's just
Where is Juan Smith?
I don't know. He used to call. I was looking at
pops
my
in.
neck. He used to call me chicken neck. And he used, you know,
He pops in every once in a while.
once in a while.
And Karen,
Probably
if Karen's still here, can vouch. Juan's a pretty good kid.
Yeah, he's all right.
When Karen said, you know what, he's a sweetie, I was like, you're lying. Mama Bear and Juan were very close for a while. She would keep him straight.
Juan Smith couldn't infiltrate
Nelson's here.
our community like they could 3 or 4 years ago
Remember when y'all thought he was Savage's son?
somebody told us that.
It could
It
have
was
been.
the stupidest thing though. But then it's like when Pezzy, that Pezzy guy, Pez dude that Stewie annihilated.
Oh my God.
I was surprised that he got the FaceTime in the community that he did because he was clearly not
That
a good
was
person.
the biggest dragging to date that I've seen is
When Stewie did that?
When Stewie drug
God,
Tupez
that was,
for Phil.
it might be like if we put, and it wasn't because of the anger level or
Thank
the
you,
things
let
that
it
were
go.
said. It was just the context, you know, like
Oh,
Stewie.
he did. Juan went for Katie. Remember?
Yeah.
He trolled that. He reviewed her forever.
When Stewie went for Pezzy Boy, because of it was just he was the guy to do it.
It was
He destroyed
hilarious.
him. He
He's
destroyed
like,
him.
you're the kind of guy that thinks he's tough, but you see him around the neighborhood, and he's always getting his ass
He was
kicked.
yeah. It's like he went to jail and he was somebody's bitch. Remember that?
He
It was like,
goes, you weren't tough. You were someone's bitch.
you were someone
Gary,
said you weren't, and he was like, you paint that beard on.
And he
That's
did.
not even real. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
It was epic to this day,
It's-
but it was probably 5 channels ago of Stewie's.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe
at
more
least,
than that.
At least.
He said he's never filed one rebuttal on any of the strikes he's ever been given.
We were in Texas when that happened, and that was, so it was 3 years ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You were like, have you seen this guy? And I was like, no. And you're like, well, he says that I can't get him, we're not going to say it detailed, aroused. He's like, and he wouldn't touch you. And I was like,
Hey, Chris.
but who is he? And you're like,
Yeah,
I
it's like-
don't know. And I was like, it might be this girl's son. And I didn't know who BKK was either. And I was like,
I
maybe
thought it
her
was
son.
BKK's son or something.
I didn't
'cause
know.
She's my age, and she's in her 50s.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. But
Yeah.
good times.
That
There's-
was a good time, but
I know. There's people that will send me a link and be like, have you ever seen this? And it's, hey, Mimi, we are. Hope you are too. People will be like, have you seen this? And it'll be like a video from 2 years ago where someone's just dragging the hell out of me. And I don't even know who they
Yeah.
are.
yeah.
I'm like, I wish I'd seen it back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's just, when you've been here, you've been here. It's like.
And once everybody said everything there is to say about you, I mean, you're like, there's my puppy.
Where is he?
There's my puppy. He came to see me. Say hi, Papa Power. Look. Puppy, puppy, puppy. What's in your mouth?
Look at him. He's so unamused by it. He's like, guys,
He goes-
it's 9 o'clock.
He said, I'm not show quality.
Hey,
I've got an underbite.
Hey,
I've got an underbite.
Where is it, buddy? I take you outside? This is Bubble Power right here.
He's a puppy. He's a puppy power. You tired? You tired?
Look at him.
I think
okay,
he is
buddy?
tired. We're gonna go in a second, Sawyer Brown. But yeah, I didn't even know.
Stewie's around though, Colleen. He's still
is.
here. Every
He's
once in a
still
while
here.
he'll pop into the streams, but I think that
Remember when he's like, I've been sober for 5 months. We're like, good on you from weed. Good on you. And he's like, yeah, it's just for
it
a
doesn't
job.
work for me. It's
just for a job.
Yeah, I gotta keep it clean.
No, he wanted to go. He was waiting to.
I know, that's what I mean. But he was when Mandi and I first did our channel, and Stewie he likes when he control you and you just roll with it. He ended up being fans of ours, and he
has respect.
He was like, there goes Tomahawk Sean. He's finally with a girl with good credit.
Everybody forever kept trying to speculate who he was. Was he Yaba? Was he Kirsty? And he was like, I'm just me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever successfully figured out who he was.
He loves MMA. He's always,
Come here, Sawyer. The cat's under the tarp.
Yeah, he thinks nobody can see him.
Yeah, he's under the tarp where I'm painting the thing, and the cat thinks that nobody knows he's there. Look, Sawyer's like, I see you.
Sawyer's like, if I can see you, then you're not.
So tomorrow, Sean's off on Tuesday. He's off on Tuesday, and he's gonna make them honor it.
It's the first.
Hey, Single Dad Life, how are you?
Hey, Single Dad Life. Because if Mandi doesn't go get our tags tomorrow, we're both gonna go on the first and get them.
I'm gonna go get them.
I gotta find you that stuff though.
What do we need? The registration?
I think you might need your old registration.
I know where the registration to that one is.
I think you just take it and walk in, but
I'll figure it out. That's the only one way to find out. Why does she always? I don't even know. No.
No, what's the song? Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, you always sing that, but I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys know what you guys know what I'm talking about. You know when what's the song? Oh no. Oh no. And they put it into like TikTok stuff and Instagram stuff. She doesn't know the song.
Let It Go. Sean is the one that introduced me to wrestling. I didn't know that it was fake or that it was like I didn't know. I thought it was like boxing or whatever. And then I saw it and I was so freaking intrigued because there's like a storyline. And it was during COVID, so all of the fans were on this big screen behind. But it was just like, and the first time I watched it, I was like, I'll do it again. I'll resubmit. Don't worry. All I need is, okay.
Yeah, I think that's all you need, or your old registration.
It's fake. Let it go.
But this is also the girl that didn't know what it meant when I said back that up.
That's funny. We did Let It Go knew what it meant though. Then there's gonna be another one coming in right after it. I'm gonna be like, I'll catch you in just a second.
Let me fix that right up.
It's funny. I get drop downs now. I'm allowing notifications on some things. I used to disable all notifications, so unless I was in the app, I had no idea about some things.
The Von Erich family.
Who's that?
Hey,
who's Von Erich?
Okay, what didn't one of the Von Erichs, isn't he the one that died in the ring that fell? I think he's one of them. Yeah, it was in Kansas City. We were at Fort Riley when it happened, and they had.
Oh, and the guy the person that killed him felt so bad.
Nobody killed him. He fell from a scaffolding or something like that.
I do remember that, but didn't someone jump on him after he fell? And it wasn't his fault that he jumped on him.
He said yes. I don't think anyone touched him after he fell.
Okay.
He was way up there, and he fell off of it.
What was he supposed to land on his feet or something?
I don't think. No, he wasn't supposed to fall. He fell.
How sad.
It was when I was at Fort Riley. This was.
And it was
about 2000 when it happened, and a lot of guys in my platoon were big fans of wrestling.
So it was on camera?
I think it was. Well, I don't
Not
know.
live.
I don't know.
Wow.
It was.
I remember when the person died at Circus Soleil, fell in Vegas or something.
Like he fell off the trapeze or something.
Something like that, yeah. And it was super traumatizing to obviously the people that were there. Followed shortly behind when the audience told all of David Copperfield's secrets and he sued him. Wow. Remember that? He said how they rushed him, they told. He sued him. I believe he won.
Wow. What about the ones that always had the tigers and the tiger bit one of
Sigmund
them.
and Freud.
Yeah, didn't the tiger like maul one of them finally or something?
And kill
like
him,
that?
right?
He didn't kill him. I don't think he killed him.
I thought it did, and they said, well, he died doing what he loves or something
Killed him?
like that.
I don't think it did.
Well, someone will let us know if it did. I thought
he was super
just,
traumatized
hold on,
by
let me
it.
see. Let me
Let me
look
see
it up
it.
real quick while we. The picture.
like this.
We've changed the picture.
Hey, Sarah Smiles. How
We've changed
are
the picture
you?
back from Toothless Desiree.
Look at this, guys.
No. I didn't say it like you can show them, but I don't want them to think. Look, I want you to see this picture.
No, but I do.
It's not Toothless Desiree.
So
I'll hit you back.
So when every time I pick up my phone, I have this picture. Look at that, guys.
It's a nice. It's such a nice.
It's a freaking
picture.
hot ass. Anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was showing you guys though because I was searching for Sigmund and
Sigmund and Freud.
My talk to texts are things the legends are made of. Karen and Loretta save screenshots of some of the things that my talk to texts say. And Sean's like, and the thing is, she doesn't even like read over it before she sends it. She said a lot of times, the other day I was texting someone, I was having a rather heated discussion, and it switched something to John, and the person was like, who the hell, what is John? And it was like, that was the wrong word. Yeah. Let me see.
Sigmund and Freud.
I'm going to do it real quick.
You have to type in tiger fucks up Sigmund and Freud.
I don't think that's what happened though. I think you're right. Sigmund and Freud. I would name a boy Sigmund.
No.
It's kind of a, is it Sigmund and Roy? It's not Freud. Sigmund and, oh, it is Freud. Okay. Isn't that the name of the shrink? Sigmund Freud?
Yeah.
So their name is Sigmund and Freud?
Just put in tiger attack Sigmund or something like that. And then it'll come
Oh
up.
no, Sigmund and Roy. Siegfried and Roy. There we go.
There it is. Kay's got you.
You see, it takes us to, and did he die?
He didn't die. It didn't kill him.
Okay, let me look. Are they lovers? I've always wondered that. They were a duo of German-American magicians.
Well, they retired.
Hold on. Siegfried died in 2021 and Ray Horn died in 2020. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Not very old.
Wow.
You watch to see if someone, I'm great with my finger.
I'm great with my finger.
Look right here, May 8th, 2020, Las Vegas.
They both lost. They lived there.
Yeah, but that's where the death was. Tiger incident.
Yeah.
They didn't. Okay.
They didn't die. That was
happened.
2003.
Okay, gotcha. I got it now.
I think I was in Iraq. Yeah, it was in October. I was in Iraq when that happened.
Was it a bad attack? He was having a stroke and the tiger could tell. Oh, like he picked up his weakness. That's what wolves do.
Wolves do that.
They're fine unless you like are sick and then they'll turn on you. That's crazy. So not only was he having a stroke, but the tiger attacked him?
Something like that.
Wow.
They were like, you don't get to have a stroke here.
I know. They were like, we finally get they loved those tigers though. So I know that they didn't mistreat him or anything. I guess it's just
that was the
animal
big deal
instinct.
is that he, it's like almost like his feelings were hurt when it happened. It's like
it's like when you get bit by your dog.
Well,
It hurts your feelings so bad
they call
when your
it
dog bites you.
ATX Tomahawk and ATX or ATX Tomahawk in the chicken show or whatever. And then the rooster like attacks you in the middle. It would hurt your feelings.
That the only time that Sawyer ever snapped, and we're not even sure why he did it. It hurt it hurt your feelings.
It did hurt my feelings.
When your dog, like I remember when Luna bit me, the one and only time she ever bit me, and it's devastating when your dog bites you.
Well, you had a wolf too, because it could be more than
devastating.
devastating.
It was a pretty bad bite, but
I remember now Bear would bite. If I would go into the room.
I'm gonna get another.
And everybody's sleeping, and I would go to get into bed, or I went to grab him to take him out. Sometimes he would bite. Now he was a pit bull lab mix, so it was it was the weight of.
He didn't eat your chickens.
Nope.
So that gives us hope.
Yeah. So with a lot of times the bite is bad because when something bites you and we pull back, and so when we pull, like a lot of times, like if a dog wants to hurt you, it'll clamp on and then like shake its
Like when Sawyer breaks the neck of some things.
Yeah, even Sawyer breaks the
Are
neck
you
of
comfortable, Star?
like various pillows and stuffed animals and stuff like that. Because contrary to popular belief, Sawyer is a bully breed. He's a very, very, very fierce Shih Tzu.
He's a very fierce Shih Tzu.
And here he comes.
It's a Capri Sun, Sawyer.
He's like, let me come over here real quick.
It's a Capri Sun. That's all it is. Anyways.
But anyway.
I think we should watch a James Bond movie tonight. We haven't done that in a while.
About a year ago, when we first moved in here, at Walmart, they had all the James Bond movies. So there was like, I think there's like, what, 29 of them or something
They
like
were
that.
lovers. That's what I thought. Go ahead.
And so I said, because what we used to do in Texas, before I was working 80 hours a week, is we would stay up late into the night, and Mandi would eventually fall asleep, you know, in the crook of my chest right here. And I would watch TV and stuff. And she would always get up earlier than me, but I would sleep in. Can't really do that anymore. But anyway, so we get the place, and they have all the James Bond movies. And I bought them. And the whole idea was like, I'm going to binge watch James Bond for however long it took, 2 weeks.
Yes.
Every night, 2 or 3 weeks. And I got through 2 of them. And then I'm going to go get them before we go.
You're
I'm
going
gonna
to show
everybody.
him?
I'm going to show them.
He's going to prove to you he's got them.
No, but I think. See,
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so he severed the carotid artery, but he lived, right?
He lived,
Obviously. So not only he had a stroke and the tiger severed his. I vaguely remember, did they say that they thought the tiger might have been trying to pick him up? Is that what it was? Like, they said he must. That thing is like crazy. That he might have been trying to pick him up, like to take him, whatever, but he didn't understand how to do it or whatever. I kind of remember that, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
See here, look, guys.
Was it at Walmart where you got it?
Yeah.
I didn't remember.
These are all the James Bonds.
Every single one? Wow.
And
he wouldn't let him put the tiger. Yeah, that's what I thought. They were gonna. Thank you, Single Dad Life. They won.
14. 24. 24, all the James Bond. Well, they've had one since, so the very last one.
I was thinking if they have to recast James Bond, you could be Bond. You want to be Bond?
I could be Bond.
I mean, we have Voltaren gel, so like if you put Voltaren gel like on your feet and stuff like in your back, then you could do some of the stunts, right?
Yeah. All I need is Voltaren gel and maybe some Advil.
And yeah, and okay, so you go be the new James Bond, right?
So 1962 to 77, and then it's
Who was the original one?
Sean Connery. I think there was one that wasn't the first one. Not Sean Connery. Maybe Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and then a bunch of other people. And here's 79 to 2002.
See you later, Single Dad Life.
And then 2000 and hold on.
I think it says let's catch you later.
2006 to 2000 and anyway. 24 James Bond movies. I watched 2.5. And I saved, but it had all the digital versions that I was going to give to Mandi's ex-husband, but she said that it was I probably shouldn't.
He does collect the digital copies, and I was like, fair is fair, but
we
did give him some.
Yeah, but he probably wouldn't look at it kindly. I don't know.
Catching up on the scores. Catch up on the scores. Sean Connery. Yeah, he was a cutie. My favorite was not Pierce.
Pierce Brosnan?
Not him. What was the one before him?
There's Sean Connery, Roger Moore.
I think Roger Moore. He had
Pierce
a cleft
Brosnan.
in his chin.
Something like that.
Yeah, I liked him. Just brought dinner to me. I'm listening. Oh, yum. I like, we should have gone in. Single Dad Life is hammered. He told us that he got off work and he's been cheersing it up. And now he went from tipsy.
MC hammered.
He's went MC hammered. Steak and rice. Yum.
So it is
That
what?
sounds
We
good.
went at 8:30, so it's about 9:45. We're East Coast, so
I'm
are you
still
guys
gonna
like out west? I mean, because 8:45 on a Sunday for
Sarah's
us.
in Oregon. Oh, I didn't mean to dox her, but Sarah's in Oregon.
9:45 here.
Barbecue, yeah.
Yay.
I'm going to get tea when we get off. I have a feeling I can't. I made him come with me last night, but I probably won't make him go tonight to get it. You did your time yesterday.
Yes.
But you were so nice to go with me.
I worry about you when you go do that, though.
You're like, number one, I worry because you're there and back in 12 and a half minutes, so I know your speed.
Sarah smiles and then look at Arkansas. There's another Oregon.
My mom always says that, single dad. She's always like, I got fat thumbs. My mom sent me this crazy snapshot today of like this doll, like Halloween doll, but it was my mom. I was like, that's weird.
It was.
It was kind of
weird,
creepy.
like Chucky. Woo! I burped.
And then his dad called this morning, but he was at the gym, and so it was like a pocket dial. But I was coming back from getting tea this morning, and he calls, and I answer, and you just hear rustling, and I'm like, hello? You know, saying his name and whatever. And so then I call Sean, and Sean only felt it ring because it was under his back.
I was still in bed. It was like 11 o'clock. But you know, when you're 83, 84-year-old dad...
So I was like, what do I do?
Do
I turn around and go straight to his house? Do I, like, because I was almost home.
Yeah.
But it was
he was at the gym. I called him and he was fine.
Yep. He was doing the elliptical. I was like, good for him.
So you're going to run out and get tea, baby?
I am going to run out and get tea. And then when we get back, it's 9:38 in Tennessee.
Sarah doxed herself. She said, that's okay.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Sean used to say, I'll dox my address if you sing Kratom.
Yeah.
No, that was during Suboxone Gate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you're like,
right.
Look.
Yeah. When they brought up the Suboxone stuff for about the fifth time.
You're like, I won't tell on you.
You're like, I won't do anything, but I will tell you exactly. Well, I'll need to dox, because if it's Kratom, I need to dox my address so you can send it
And you need
first
green
class.
vein.
That's right.
Green vein Ming Da.
Green vein Ming Da.
Yeah.
Kratom.
Ming Da. You ready to go, Sean?
Well, you're ready to go get tea.
I am, because you don't have to be at work early tomorrow.
Early enough.
Yeah, but I mean, then you're off Tuesday.
I'm off Tuesday.
So that's good. He's finally, but yeah, we are going to go. Thank you for hanging out with us, guys.
I'm getting handsy, so we're going to have to go.
Whether you're watching us here or you are watching us somewhere else, the important thing is you're watching us.
We appreciate you
Give
guys,
us a sub and a like, and we will talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Follow us in and out. Bye, guys.
See you later. Have a good night, you guys.